Hello there, Libra, and welcome to your reading. We are looking today to see what portals and activations are here for you right now, what energies are activating, and what you need to know. This reading will resonate for Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs, and let's get right into it and see what messages are coming out for you. We've got choice here first. You've got multiple portals opening up for you here, Libra. So what path are you wanting to go on? What direction are you going in? You've got multiple choice right here. And you know what? Honestly, Libra, you're actually pretty good at making choices, right? You weigh up all your options. You see things from different perspectives. You seek out the truth of situations. And so when you get this is a perfect energy that's activating here for you, perfect portals that are opening up for you. Some of you may be feeling like you're at a bit of a crossroads in your life. Who am I? What am I meant to do? Why am I here? What changes do I need to make? You could be looking at changes in your job. You could be looking at changes in where you live. Your belief systems may be evolving on multiple levels. You might even be in an energy where you're not even aware of what choices are available to you right now. But you are at a crossroads of some kind. And so this can be a significant turning point in your life. This can be, very significant changes somewhere down the road here for you. And when that time comes, when you need to choose, trust in your wisdom, trust in your ability to know which path is right for you. You're being guided, you're being protected. You are, the spiritual realms are saying to you here now, I got your back, Jack. Listen to your wisdom. Listen to us. We're whispering sweet nothings in your ear to help you to choose that right path for yourself. Don't be afraid of choosing a path that seems unfamiliar. Often the best paths are the ones less traveled. Pay attention to red flags because those are your warning signs that this is not the right path for you. Don't be afraid to say no, but by the same token, don't be afraid to say yes. So if you are faced with a choice, you're faced with a decision, sit quietly. Look into your mind's eye. What is your vision? What do you see? What do you feel? What do you hear? Set the intention to choose a path, to choose the right choice. You'll get all that guidance that you need. But it's a great energy to have. It is card number 23, right? 2 + 3 is 5. 5s represent obstacles and challenges, but also exciting opportunities for change and to overcome any obstacles. 2s are about balance and harmony. 2s are about choices and also trusting your wisdom. 3s are creativity. 3s can be teamwork and collaboration. There can also be 3 portals opening up for you, 3 choices there. But 3s are creativity, which is the basis of manifestation, your power to create. Your power to create change, your power to create opportunities, your power to create whatever it is that you are looking for or don't even know that you're looking for. We also have commitment. All right. So very much at face value, this portal of commitment and moving forward, upping your level, upping your game, right, is open for you. 1s are exciting. 1s are new beginnings. 1s is fresh energy, fresh perspective. 1s are about new or improved situations in your life. And of course, number 11 can certainly be about your intuition, but can also be about your wishes and your goals and your dreams. So some of you here, I feel, you have tapped into something really wonderful. You're about to have something come true for you, some sort of vision coming true for you. I also feel like you're part of this message for you guys. Yes, face value is a higher level of commitment in a partnership, right? Twos can be about partnerships as well. So partnership with friends, partnership with yourself, with spirit, partnership within, of course, a very, very important relationship in your life. It can be love and romance, right? Obviously, with that one there, right? It looks like they're getting married under the trees or they're getting engaged or something. She is wearing a wedding dress, actually. They both are. So this can be if you've been wanting some sort of change in a relationship, right? Commit to your path forward, but don't be afraid to make a different choice, right? If something's not going in the direction that you want it to go. Sometimes we choose to move onwards and upwards with people and relationships. Sometimes we choose to part ways or do something a little bit different than what is the norm. But that commitment is the key. So if someone asks you to commit, or if you ask someone to commit, are you ready for that? Are you going to say yes? Or is this a catalyst moment that may say for some of you that, you know what? I'm looking for a change. I'm looking for something different. Whatever it is, the path forward for you will be made clear. Don't falter on your commitment to the choice that you do make, because it's the right choice for you. Let's see what else is activating for you here. This can be a really beautiful energy though, but very much a crossroads kind of moment. We have star gathering. The stars are aligned for you here, Libra. So stars aligned, wishes and dreams coming true. You are very connected with all of the abundance and the wonder and the possibilities that the universe has to offer. Stars aligned for you. This can also be about remembering who you are, where you've come from. Not necessarily just in this human existence, this lifetime. This can be about connecting with your star family in some way, right? You may be a star seed, you're Libra. So do you connect with the Pleiadians? Do you connect with the Sirius light beings, right? You may connect very much with the stars. And you might be kind of just drawn to this energy, or perhaps, with this, these portals opening up for you, this is your opportunity to connect with people who are from the same source that you are from. And it's a magical experience, and you may feel, I've come home. And it's comforting, and you just know that something fits. But whatever your situation, however that plays out for you, the stars are really watching out for you. They are coming together. They are lining up for you. It's going to also be a reminder, we spend so much as humans, kind of focusing on our day-to-day things. And this is like a reminder, look up to the sky. Whether it's during the day and watching the clouds go by, it's quite the meditative experience. Watching clouds, and it's kind of like an old pastime. My dad used to do this with us when we were kids. We would just lay in the grass. We would look up at the sky, and we would, come out with how many shapes do we see in the clouds. It's amazing what shapes you can actually see. Just boom, just say what the first thing comes on the top of your head. And I didn't know until later in life that that was one of the oldest versions of scrying, is, seeing shapes in the stars. Scrying is seeing shapes in things, right? Seeing shapes in a mirror, seeing shapes or visions in water, right? Candle scrying is another thing, but the clouds, right? The clouds can be like that. You can also look up at the stars at night. It can be a very magical experience. Even if you're in the city, you can still look up and see something, right? But look up. There's magic in the universe. There's magic in the stars. And yes, we do, want to, as humans, right? We do want to remain grounded and rooted to the earth, but we also need to look up at the sky. There's messages up there for you. There's a connection up there for you. There's mystery and wonder up there for you. We have at the back of the deck for your anchor cards here, we've got the Ace of Swords. Yes. Ace of Swords is a massive yes card, okay? Messages, communication, ask a question, you'll get the answer. This is clarity, a breakthrough, the truth. It's also your focus and your concentration on the things that you want, the things that you want to change, on your ideas that you want to put in motion, right? That Ace of Swords. Clarity, a sense of purpose, receiving messages, sending messages out. Great for communication, great for maybe some, messages that you don't need to hear with your ears, right? They're the ones that come from within. But the aces do bring new beginnings, fresh energy. You already got that coming out here with commitment, and of course your choices can bring new energy here as well. And so that Ace of Swords shows that, you will have that clear understanding of which direction that is right for you. What is your answer, right? What direction, what path, what portal will you go down? The aces do bring luck. They bring opportunities. They bring answers. And, of course, like I said, new beginning, but the aces are number one. You've got commitment here. So you've got 111 coming out here for you. Something very big is shifting for you here. We also have the Four of Cups. Okay, we've got to engage here, guys. We've got the Hermit. Beautiful. The Hermit is that meditative kind of energy, that soul searching, that reflection, right? Where we're looking for direction, we're looking for answers. And we've got the Seven of Coins here as well. Seven of Coins, Seven of Pentacles energy. So your big energy here, your big message is the Hermit. The Hermit can sometimes bring loneliness, all right? So, because it is a solitary energy. Now, sometimes as people, in order to figure something out or to get clarity or whatever, just to kind of take a break, we do look for some solitude. So it's not a bad thing. Solitude is okay. It's fine, right? We need that once in a while. We have to recharge our batteries, or we need to sit with our thoughts, right? Whatever it happens to be. But the Hermit card can bring in, when we're in Hermit energy, can bring a little bit of loneliness. So with this commitment energy coming in here, with multiple doors opening for you, multiple portals, with choice, the Ace of Swords, open up your lines of communication. You may be looking for companionship. If you're in a relationship but yet you're lonely, then maybe you are ready for something a little different. If you can talk it out and resolve some issues and maybe infuse something fresh, new, big ideas, Ace of Swords, into your relationship, whatever kind of relationship that is, then that's great, because the Hermit can bring healing and deeper understanding as well, right? But sometimes this also shows you that maybe you need to follow a different path. And especially if we're on, as we grow through life, as we gain more wisdom and experience, age, we sometimes drift away from certain people or certain situations. And same thing when we're on a spiritual path, because our energy is shifting. And when we're in this period of growth, we do find sometimes we do drift away from what is familiar. because it's no longer energetically aligned with who we are and what we're becoming. And so sometimes we drift away. There's nothing wrong with people or situation, nothing wrong with you. It's just we're no longer energetically connected. Can you revive a connection if that's what everyone wants? Yes, but we have to evolve at the same time. So with this hermit energy, this can be pointing you towards needing a little bit of alone time so that you can, kind of sort things out. You can get some answers, or maybe you can just kind of, connect with yourself, because we do some soul searching with that hermit energy. But again, it can say that if you are lonely in situations, then you may be ready for some sort of change. But whatever your situation, the hermit brings some calm energy. It brings peace. But it does bring this energy of stillness and contemplation, right? Because the hermit ultimately carries a lantern, right? We see the lantern. There's the lantern. We can see the lantern. That lantern lights up the next brick, the next pathway. And so we figure out what our next step is, which path to take after we do go into that hermit mode. So it can be a beautiful energy. This can also represent Virgo energy with the hermit. Virgo energy is attached to the 6th house in astrology, which is your day-to-day life, your habits, your patterns, your health, happiness, and well-being on all levels: physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. Okay, and it's a focus on that, just the day-to-day things, and what can I do day-to-day, those little small things that make my life better. And sometimes we spend far too long looking at the big picture when it's actually the little things that count the most. But we do have the 7 of coins here as well, and this can be a harvest for some of you. So again, for some of you here, something is blossoming and you're ready to reap what you have sown. You've waited, you've done your work, you've done your homework, you've been, doing, all the right things, and you're about to be rewarded for that in some way. Okay, 4 of Cups here, though, says make sure that you are open to receive. Often our blessings come in a little differently than the exact vision that we had, only because we get sent what we need, which is sometimes a little bit different than what we want, okay, but it's always better, right? We might not always necessarily recognize it right away. So the 4 of Cups can have this energy of apathy, okay, or focusing on exactly this thing and not seeing all the other wonderful blessings or opportunities that are around. Okay, so it's important that we remain open and, see the potential of things, right? And even if something doesn't happen exactly the way that we wanted it, there's still something good, right? Still something positive. So the 7 of coins says your patience is going to pay off here, right? Or be patient and things will play out for you, will pay off for you. Okay, and that 4 of Cups is about staying open. Let's get some more cards. Four of Swords, meditation. So you're really being asked to connect with your higher self, to take a break, to take a breather, to find some quiet space, find some alone time, and whatever you've been struggling with, whatever doubts that you've been having, whatever question marks are in your life, when we find this energy of quiet, peace, and solitude, right, this is often where we are a little bit more inclined to listen, right, and to understand the messages that we're receiving, and also be open to some messages as well, right? Some of you here do get the feeling that you're a little tired. Okay, so in your general day-to-day life, do find some time for a little bit of R&R. We've got the Page of Wands, lovely. 6 of Wands, we're overcoming things in our lives. The Knight of Wands, things are getting faster. We've got the 10 of Swords and the King of Wands. Okay, some fiery energy coming in here. So, oh wow, would you look at that? we've got the Ace of Swords at the back of this deck as well. Okay. Keep those lines of communication open, but now is the time to focus on your visions, your goals, your dreams, to focus on what you want to change, what you want to grow, the things that are right for you. Okay, 2 Ace of Swords. That's pretty awesome. And they're both at the back of the deck. So there's some significance in that. The back of the deck, some people may have some different things going on. But the back of the deck for me is the majority of the time an underlying influence, an underlying energy that's carrying you forward. It's giving you some underlying motivation, right? So this can be all about communication, decisions, new beginnings, truth and honesty, authenticity, right? But this can also be that you're waiting for a message, that there's something coming in for you. It can come as a little bit of a surprise, something that you're not ready to see quite yet, but it is coming in imminently. All right. So 2 Ace of Swords, right? All about that communication. And now, of course, we've got 4 ones out here for you. 1-1 commitment, 1 and 1. Okay. So look up the deeper meaning of 1-1-1-1. Okay. We don't get 4 ones too often in a reading. It does happen sometimes, but not very often. And so look it up, and there'll be additional messages there for you. But otherwise, we've got it really, look at all the wands energy. Look at all this fire energy. Okay. So the 4 of Swords, replenish your energy, recharge your energy, because things are about to speed up for you, and we don't want you to crash with that 10 of Swords. Okay. So remember to, remember in your day-to-day, but also very specifically right now, you need to keep up your energy. We want you to be calm and in a relaxed state, because there's messages, there's incoming opportunities, there's action laying ahead for you here. Now, yes, of course, we've got the Page of Wands, right? Page of Wands, good news, something tied with your manifestations quite often, but does require you to take some action, but it's exciting, right? Fiery, it's exciting. It ignites something in you, a passion, a spark. The 6 of Wands, this is where we overcome a challenge, and this can be where we're like, okay, now I know what path that I'm taking, right? And I've gotten over the hurdle of making a choice. The Knight of Wands, go-getter energy, right? Pitter patter, let's get at her. I've got a goal, I've got a dream, I've got a vision, okay? And we're going to morph into this King of Wands, but first we've got to put an end to something, or we've got to look to the future, right? The past is the past, the future is opening up, the future is bright, and we just might need to say a final goodbye or let go of something here, right? This can be, the 10 of Swords can be like an ending of a cycle. Putting something to rest, putting something to bed can be quite difficult sometimes, and that's where that 10 of Swords can be painful, okay? But ultimately very rewarding. And so what is ending, right? Because that 10 of Swords can definitely be an ending. Now, because it is swords and you've got 2 Ace of Swords coming out here, okay, this can be that you are, putting an end to old thoughts and ideas because there's something better, right? There's a different path. This can be an end of a cycle, right? And maybe you've been on a tricky, difficult cycle, right? But this shows that anything that comes to an end can actually be empowering for you, and can actually, bring success for you. Because yes, endings of things that aren't working out and that are no longer good for you, right? Ending those things can be successful for you, a huge success, especially if it's negative thoughts, right? Negative patterns, negative habits, things like that, because you see the future more clearly now. Okay, and you're not going to doubt yourself or second guess yourself. All right, so we are overcoming a challenge there. Okay, trust yourself, trust your instincts, okay, and trust those messages that you receive. Let's get a final activation here for you. Let's see what this has to say. sensuality. Now that's really a beautiful message, right? Because you are being asked to connect, right? What do you love? Who am I? Where am I going in life? What am I leaving behind? This is also really tapping into, your sense of self love, self care, taking, how should we say, enjoying all of the pleasures in life, right? Sensuality is not sexuality, okay? A little bit different than that. So care about yourself, embrace yourself, experience things, in your world more fully and completely, right? This is very much an energy of being open to things, okay? And remember, we've got this Four of Cups up here, which says we're not really, okay? And so this is like a little bit of a repeating message, right? To be open to these things. This is also, this invitation, this reminder to be open to receive more pleasure in life, okay? And it's really one of those things where we sink down into those beautiful things, very Venus-like in its energy, right? And, so when we take a bite of an apple, right, we enjoy the crunch. We, recognize the taste of it, right? The sweetness of that apple, the crisp that we hear in our ears, right? When we sit outside and we look at the stars, we, appreciate the patterns that they make, right? The zodiacs, or, if you're obviously, star gathering there, if you're like, you know, um, connect with the Pleiadians, right? Where do we look? We look to Orion's belt, right? We look to the Seven Sisters up there. We look that direction. We look at the moon and appreciate that sometimes we can see all the patterns in the moon. So it's really kind of about that embracing and recognizing and enjoying all of those little pleasures. And we forget them because we're rushing through life. So we do have a big message here for you of slowing down a little bit. And it's so that we can enjoy. And when we really take, recognize and, take pleasure in those things around us, right? The butterfly in the garden, the intricacy of a spider's web. It opens us up to seeing things differently, more vibrantly in our life. That's a big message, right? So slow down in your hustle and bustle just a little bit and find time for the simple pleasures. Find time for more pleasure and joy. Find more time for connection and meditation, right? Because you are opening up, you are growing, you are evolving, and it's absolutely beautiful. I'll leave that there for you, Libra. I do thank you for watching. Please press the thumbs up button, which it looks like they just changed the YouTube format. At least they did on phones. I don't know. So make sure you do press the thumbs up, not the thumbs down, because they're right next door. And I've accidentally hit the thumbs down twice. So I don't like the new format. But anyways, but that's just me. But do press like on the video if you enjoyed it. But I do thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.